Hey YouTube. All right. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. See who comes on. All right. I guess the topic's not interesting, so countdown for election day next Tuesday. This week is the last week to early voting. So if you're in Georgia or in most states, the deadline is what? The 30th? So, you know, I've been coming across a couple of people, or a few people rather, talking about they don't see a reason not to vote. Now I went to my dentist, went to the dentist. One of the young girls, she's not she's like 30 something. She talking about she ain't voting and don't see the reason why. I was like, what? So, she just didn't know how to vote. I mean, she was asking me questions and um things of that nature, and I said, you can vote right down right down the road anywhere. She lived in Decatur, and I said you can vote at the Sam's Club, where it used to be Sam's Club, but now it's going to be city the city hall of Stonecrest, city of Stonecrest City Hall, and she just didn't know anything about voting. So obviously, and even if she's 34, let's say she's 34, she still was old enough at some point to vote in at least two elections, the most two. So I was like, you know, and she fit that age group where they were talking about, younger people. Now, when I say younger, I'm not talking about someone who just turned 18. Most people turn 18, they'd be excited to vote, things like that. But I'm talking about late 20s, 30s. I'm quite sure there's a lot of older people too. Even some people on YouTube on that little beef sector. Someone named Nicole Tyler talking stupid and crazy, talking about why she's not voting and this and that or whatever. I was like, people act like you're only voting for the president. I mean, you're not just voting for the president, you're voting for local things that goes on in your area, in your district, in your city. And I'm just like shaking my head. I said the main people who need to be worried in regards to government is people who they ain't got shit to offer. They ain't got nothing going on for themselves. And if they think that it's not going to affect them, watch. Watch. When they start cutting programs and people start complaining about, I ain't got no food. Oh, I can't find no daycare. Oh. If they the ones who don't vote or took part in the census, I surely don't want to hear nobody complaining. I really don't. Because to me, I don't care who you vote for, as long as you exercise your right to vote, especially if you're black. Our ancestors couldn't vote, died to vote. I just think if people were to go back in time or maybe speak to older people who were disenfranchised and hear the stories, maybe that's what it is. Maybe people really don't know their history. Maybe people don't really know or grew up in a time where people had an understanding about their heritage, especially black folks. Maybe they didn't grow up with, some people say big mama, but I never did like that. With grandparents that's of age that, that's like 90 something years old, relatives that are like, grew up, have aunts and uncles um that grew up like in the 60s, like my mother's age. Maybe they just didn't know. Maybe they don't have people around them like that. Maybe I should not always assume that everybody has the same type of experience, such as myself, or why ain't nobody commenting? I see 4 people watching. Go and get the thumbs up, comment in the chat, see who's here, because I'm not gonna make this a long video. So, and maybe that's what it is. It's like because it's not like it's they so extremely busy, you know. It's like all these opportunities. You could vote by the mail. You could vote in person. You could absentee and vote. It's too many options. Now don't be surprised down in the future they may allow people to vote by the phone. Sooner or later somebody will come up with that where you could just register your cell phone number and then you could just vote on the phone or something. That might be something in the future. I won't be surprised. Oh, something's in my eye. You know, but this time it is crucial, critical. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we're going to get into a recession. We are going to enter a recession. See, it's coming. It's coming now. I mean, it's not as bad overall right now, depending on your circumstances. But when I mean total collapse, like what happened in 2007, 2008, when things start really, people start really feeling the effects. And it's not what's going to be what happened back in 2008, 1985 and all the other past recessions. This is going to be somewhat ultra inflation. Now I know there's a whole lot of videos. I mean, I've been watching for the last couple months a lot of these videos. A lot of people talk about inflation, the dollar, da da da. But a lot of things are being pumped up with the stimulus. You know, over inflation with the stock market and everything else. But who knows? Hey, your pleasure. So we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, we're going to see what's going to happen in terms of not so much what happens after the election day, because we may not even find out in a couple of weeks after election day, next Tuesday. I don't know. To me, all I know is I did my part. I encourage other people to vote, exercise your right to vote, because you're not just voting for the president, like I keep saying over and over again. You're also voting for other government laws and senators, and you know, on my ballot where I live, it wasn't just okay. Who's gonna choose for the president? You know, that's it. It was who's gonna be the next senator. It wasn't just that. It was other questions on there, tax exempt questions, tax things that quiet the mind. It's time to unwind. This is my Fitbit. So it was a whole other things. Now I don't know what city or counties and districts everyone lives in or what's the ballot choices. But I tell you one thing. I don't want to hear nobody complaining. See, black folks really haven't truly recovered from 2008. People are struggling. And give a most important point. If you Uber or gig, All right, Colas, whatever. Go ahead. I know you. I am. You said you're not voting unless you wrote a typo. You better say it's a typo. Oh, goodness, my eye. What's in my eye? Because I know one thing. Just like, for instance, the gig jobs. Oh, my eye. Shit. Dang it. Oh, I know you are. I know you ain't going to be coming on here talking about you ain't voting. So I know you was kidding. Because I think we already talked about that. I think you already said it that you already voted, if I'm not mistaken. But mm, I think it will. Because I was thinking about that the other day. I said, if Trump lose, not if, when he loses, they're gonna be some extreme people just going over the, just going crazy. You know, just like the person who was trying to kill the governor of Michigan and had um that what you call it, whatever group these people were that's gonna kidnap the governor of Michigan, and it was like some other people that were targeted and all that stuff. I mean, all these groups and stuff, I think they always gonna come out the woodwork. It's gonna be these group of people who are gonna come out the woodwork. And let me tell you why I think it's gonna be bad, regardless of which way it goes. If we go into this recession as bad as it keeps promoting or keep saying, regardless who becomes president. Because let me tell you, let's think of it this scenario. Let's say Trump does get reelected. He ain't gonna survive the whole 4 years. Those last 4 years, mm-mm, he ain't gonna complete it for sure. And he's not gonna complete it for sure is because one, it's only so much you could do. It's only so much dirt you could do with when it comes to people and all that lying and covering up and all that kind of stuff. So there's only so many people that's gonna be able to enable what Trump does. I got my shirt on backwards. Um, it's already been coming out, but see, nobody's not talking about it because they so afraid, not of Trump, they afraid of the aftermath. That's what it is. They afraid of the aftermath because when everything comes full play with money being my friend works for the police department. They ain't gonna take no vacation time because people are leaving in Atlanta. There's so many police officers resigning and quitting. Even in New York, I read that a couple weeks ago. A lot of people in New York, police officers took retirement, and all across the country because people were talking about defunding the police and all that kind of crap. Um, if Trump was to win, let me tell you, the economy is going to go so bad that it's going to be so disaster that a lot of people are going to be losing their job. That's why I'm trying to hang on to Wayfair and do my little gig jobs and and try to um start really knocking down on my budget, you know, and really cut down on a lot of things because the economy is not going to be, it ain't looking good, let me tell you. It ain't going to be great regardless who's president. Regardless who's president, it's not going to look good because that $1 trillion stimulus they gave out, all it did was made the dollar way, way, way weak. And it's always talks about digital monetization of money, the paper, the dollar. They talking about they're gonna be digital monies because they're doing that in China right now. So I said, you know what? Let me hurry up and cash these ones and these dollar bills and coins and try to wrap that up, because when they start saying they're going to be going digital currency, they're not going to have paper money, and it's going to be a new world order of because that's what all these chips. They said that in some people say it in the Bible. Some of them said it was said in like 1985 novels and books and stuff was written, science fiction books and stuff was written about it. And having another stimulus is really going to, that's why they haven't voted on those stimulus, because they know. That's why there's no second stimulus pass, because they're like, they know that, hey, Jeremy, Ruthie, they know that having that, um, passing that second stimulus, that's why they trying to wait. They trying to wait. They trying to do it before, they trying to wait and see who becomes president and whether they're going to pass that stimulus. Because if they pass that, so say, for instance, Trump was to win, there ain't going to be no stimulus. He could give a damn. People gonna be, so all these people who was out without a job, all their moratoriums with the rent, they are. It's prolonged and inevitable. You can't pass another 3 trillion without making the economy collapse more. And it's gonna take a hard dive. Let me tell you. And then when that happens, they're going to truly start having to talk about digital currency and take the dollar off the, we're not on a gold standard anymore. That was in the 70s. If you see, I was born 1968, but I remember when New York went into bankruptcy. Now I knew that years later when as you got older, you study the past. I think it was in the 70s, Nixon, they took the dollar off the gold standard. During that 70s, when they had that economic collapse, city of New York, New York was total bankrupt. It was like it all across the country. It wasn't just New York, but it was kind of like a financial collapse. If you say that Biden wins, there will be a second stimulus check. Well, let me go back and finish it. What happens if Trump wins? Trump wins again and get reelected. There ain't gonna be no stimulus. Um, Everything will be inflation. The economy is gonna take the recession's gonna come anyway. It's this been before the coronavirus. Now, if Biden wins, mm, they may try to pass a stimulus. But see, the thing about it is that if they pass that stimulus, it may not be so. See, if Biden wins and they have to pass that stimulus, you're gonna have to raise interest rates. You're gonna have to most surely cut back on a lot of different things that people may get. Um, the first 4 years, or whether it be the last 4 years, depending on who it is, it's gonna be they're gonna have to clean it up anyway. And it's not gonna. And it's gonna be a disaster regardless who wins or not. It's just a matter of the morale of the country. That's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna hold on. You're gonna have someone who's gonna be able to bring people together, work together to fix the problem. If you have Trump in there, it's just gonna be total chaos. It's gonna be the economy is gonna be a bad situation regardless. But it's how they're going to decide to fix this whole problem that's gonna be the issue. See, the corona is really a smoking gun in terms of what the real problem is, changing to a digital economy, digital currency, and um, fixing things that's already been on a collapse. It just made it more clearer. But in terms of civil unrest, it's gonna be more civil unrest if Trump does not so-called fulfill the promises that he made to Black America, brown people. So he's either gonna be one, he's gonna create more of a divide. It's gonna be a way worse situation that you're gonna be calling martial law, because if they give that, if Biden says, okay, we're going to give it, I don't know, maybe they need to do a monthly stipend of some sort. Maybe they need to do it where um everybody gets $10,000 or something. I don't know. Maybe everybody needs to get a flat sum amount, not no $1,200. That $1,200 ain't gonna do squat. $1,200 is not gonna do anything for nobody. The only thing gonna do for me, if I get $1,200 and I get another $1,000 for PPP or whatever, is I'm gonna just invest that in gold and invest that into some gold or something. It's gold and silver. That's what I would do with mine if I was to get it. And I still may do it again. I still may do it because I'm still thinking about it with this company I'm trying to deal with, because I need to do a little bit more research before I decided to take out $30,000 out of my thrift savings plan and invest it in gold, because it's not a investment, it's really a protection of my assets. That's the purpose of gold, is to protect your assets. So that's why when the dollar and the economy takes a dip, my savings retirement plan doesn't lose tens of thousands of dollars. So I'll be able to at least have something set aside just in case. It's like a umbrella, I guess you could say, a safeguard. That I know that if I had $30,000, I know that it's not going to be affected by whatever happens to the economy. What? You haven't spent your stimulus check yet? That's a surprise. I thought you'd be the main one spending it. So you better do something. That's all I know. I don't know what to, I can't, you know, $1,200, it's not, even if it's single, $1,200, or if you have a family of four and you get that extra 500 or whatever, that's not a lot of money. Even if you had a family of 3 or 4 people and husband, wife, spouse, whatever, that's not a lot of money, regardless what the amount is. Because if you have one, the money that you get is because it's supposed to help for one. But when you have 2 kids, 3 kids, family, and they say it's 500, it still kind of equates to per person. Someone who's single get $5,000 versus someone who has 5 kids to get the same 5,000. It's not the same thing, because you got more people to support and more money to spend because more people in your household. But an unrest is going to happen regardless. I don't think all the stuff that's going on with, police shootings and all that stuff, that's always going to happen. That ain't nothing going to change. Ain't nothing going to change about that. People talk about, oh, defund the police and this and that. You defund the police, it's going to just, in this economic situation goes bad or goes for the worst, it's just gonna be a lot of people just want to steal, break in your house, you know, trying to rob you because if they ain't got nothing, if there's a food shortage or whatever. I heard about that code food shortage. I've been looking at a bunch of YouTube videos for years, and that's probably I could see that being true because you don't have anybody in the fields doing the vegetables, you know, the meats. You go to the store, they tell you, oh, it's limited two things of bacon and all that, and the price is so high. So yeah, the food shortages are happening because you don't have people growing the vegetables and stuff. That's why when I went to the Dollar Tree and I was looking at some seeds and I was trying to grow my little garden, which I don't know what happened. It didn't grow not one tomato on that tomato plant. I was like, God dang, I thought I was doing something. Now one watermelon came out of nothing at those seeds. I saw a little baby watermelon growing the other day in the yard. I said, oh my God, look at this little watermelon. And somehow or another, it got all smashed up or something. I think those damn cats had something to do with it because I said, how did this happen? But I can't blame the cats. But my little watermelon thing, I don't know what happened. So I said, oh well, I guess I start again. I guess I start again next spring or summer or whatever. I'm gonna do something. But by it being end of October, I haven't put any seeds out for the fall, so I don't know what's gonna grow at this point. So I said, oh well. But yeah, it's gonna be food shortages, and that's been in the making. And then how they said the food pantries, how it was like almost triple with so many people going to food pantries. You don't have to be dirt poor to go to a food pantry because I went to a food pantry about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago at the church. And then I went to another one a few weeks ago, and I missed one again on Thursday. But this one at the street up the up the street, they were giving away some food, but this one was it was like a head of cabbage, two plums. It looked like it came out of like a community garden or something. It was a few cans of items here and there. It wasn't like a huge big box, but it still was it still was pretty good. I still got that one little head of cabbage I got left. It wasn't no big huge cabbage, but I started it's still good for me to use. I'm gonna cook it tomorrow when I cook my stewed chicken. But I got stewed chicken is marinating in the refrigerator. I seasoned it, cut it up. So tomorrow night I'll be making my stewed chicken with rice and saute me some squash and zucchini. I'll show y'all the dinner tomorrow night. But other than that, I don't know. One more week. Next Tuesday, that's it. Election day will be here. So maybe we'll do a watch party. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a watch party, because 7, what the polls close at 7. And then of course whoever's in line, they cannot close the polls until everybody is the last person voted. If you on that line, and hopefully things won't be so chaotic, you know. But they said that more people have voted early than they ever had since last year or the last time. So we shall see. We shall see what making all that damn noise. We shall see what happens. But if it's a sweep, because I don't know, I'm just so nervous. I think when next week comes, I don't know. I'm gonna be all up on that TV. I'm not gonna be on TV because I don't have TV. I'll be all up on the internet watching it because it's gonna be live, and they're gonna have all the ABC, NBC, CNN, political, you know, Telemundo. Every single station is gonna be glued once that when election comes. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a lot of political analysis. You know, I remember last time I went to the homeowner association up there in the clubhouse, and we were all watching, and you know, the beginning it was like, yeah, Hillary won this state, da da da. But then when the as the night went by, it was like it went from happy to total sadness. I was so disgusted. I was just so disgusted. I was like, I mean, it was kind of like, Hillary won like the northern states and things like that. And then as the night went on and they said Donald Trump won, and I don't even think they even announced it that same night that he won. I think you had to, I want to say, it was close, put it that way. But I know the next morning, this jackass neighbor of mine that lived up the street, some old black man talking stupid. I'm like, man, get the hell out of my yard, off my damn sidewalk, you know, talking about, oh, good day, Trump. And the thing about it, his whole premise about Trump ain't got nothing to do with President Obama. President Obama already served his eight years. Just because President Obama had passed a ruling about um I want to say because he passed a thing with gay marriage and stuff that his whole thing was about that. I was like, nigga, bye, some old man talking about because there was a lot of people were like they didn't want to see a white woman, a woman period, become president. So you gonna vote for Trump? You know, idiot. You know, I don't care. To me, you entitled to your choice, but let your choice be logical. That's all I know. You know, Trump showed who he was way before he became president. So I like I told someone last night, I said I don't give a damn what Trump feels about people as long as he was able to lower taxes, people get jobs, use that toughness against trade agreements with China and everything else. I could give damn two fat rat asses about what he thought about Mexican, black folks, or whatever. Because there's a whole lot of presidents who don't like black folks and a whole bunch of other people, but they still did their job for the people. My whole problem with Trump is that he spent so much time, that he didn't take the job seriously. In my opinion, he used it as his own reality TV show, talking about um he's the worst president ever. He spent so much time on foolishness, talking about people, and talking about the media and all that convolution that he did with Trump. I mean with Russia and stuff and all that underhanded shit. My hair got wet yesterday. Look, my hair curling right on back to being curly again. Well, anywho, he could have used. I don't think he had that much of a business mindset because even when he was in New York as a real estate mogul, I was watching a film about New York, and I was on this old film they were showing Donald Trump and about his dealings and stuff in New York and investment in his family and all that that kind of crap. He could have used his power and charisma, or what lack of, to really make America great again. Not about no going back to white folks and black people supposed to be um, acting like inservent slaves or whatever his concept is. If you're thinking about making America great again, is when the United States was like on the top of the world, industrial nation in the world, producing, manufacturing, and people had jobs, then fine, that's America great. When America was on top of the world, manufacturing, you know, the dollar was strong, investments were great, the wall, that is what make America great. Trump said he's got more jobs for minorities. Man, please. I ain't seen shit. Talk about he made more jobs. Show me. Talk about he gave more money to HBCUs and black. See, that's why there was some black. See, I see it. Y'all can make me go there about why they think some black men feels they could support Trump. And the reason why I think some black men, not all, like dumbass, what's his name? Not Kanye West. He's still talking crazy. I just read something today about his dumb behind. About he gonna run. People should write his name in the ballot for president. And then he said God told him that he should run for president back in 2008 or whatever year he said. I don't know. It was so stupid. I was like, God didn't tell you that. He was taking a shower and God told him and spoke to him. No, it's Ice Cube, but it's somebody else too. Um, what's his name that discovered Eminem? Ice Cube is one. He's a fool. And you know how I'm talking about Curtis. What's his real dang play name? Ice Cube is one, but there was another person who came out. He used to date Vivica Fox. Nope, not Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre can't float nowhere. This criminal ass. The other one, the one who discovered Eminem. That wore the do rag on his head and 50 Cent. That fool. He came out there talking about he's supporting Trump too. But he was talking about taxes. That's why people see some of these black men, they were like, I support Trump because about my business and saving money. He ain't doing shit for y'all. They thinking you trying to see some of these black men, they try to put themselves in the same alignment with Trump as a businessman, and that's their reasoning for supporting him. Now, if you want to cheat the government and not pay your fair things of taxes, then okay, then you are in the same cahoots with Trump, paying $550 in taxes. So yeah, I heard that. Rocka Flocka and 50 Cent. First of all, no Negroes ain't got. Do they even have the right to vote? Don't they? Didn't they went to prison or something and took their little rights away to not vote? Can they truly vote? That's the question, Curtis and Flocka Maka and whoever. Nope, they don't support each other. They ain't gonna talk about. Then 50 Cent got the nerve talking about I pay a lot of money in taxes. You know, and most black folks don't even make. See, that's what be pissing me off. Most black folks don't even make anywhere close to the money they making, and you talking up and you complain about taxes. You complain about taxes, and y'all buy a shitload of stuff around your neck, gold around that neck. Sometimes I say, you know what, let me snatch some of that damn gold off their neck so I could invest it, you know, and sell it. Shit. Take that gold teeth out your mouth and the damn necklace and the damn gold tooth and all that. Snatch that shit right out their fucking mouth and snatched off their neck and all the rings and gold nick, you know, nigga bye. I don't suspect no black man over no bullshit talking about. You know, you can support Trump if you want, that's your choice. But your reasoning, you ain't never, no black man ain't never gonna be up to no standard on no white man. No matter how much y'all think y'all could, some y'all, not all, some of y'all think y'all could be in alignment and think y'all on the same level. You'll never be on the same level. You'll never be on the same level as no white man. So sit your butt down because see y'all gonna make me go there. I'm gonna have a new topic. You know, you see all these black men. And I ain't gonna say don't come to me talk about even white women too. There's some black women too. They be dating white men. But I'm talking on the other side of. There's more black men that be having a white woman on their arms, toting because they don't want to we reminded where they came from. So here they come. They want to marry Becky, and then they drag around with mixed kids. And I'm not mixed, so don't go there. So they'll marry a white woman because they want what the black they want. The black man wants what the white man want. So they figure they're gonna just jump around with Becky on their arms and and thinking they could do the same thing with a white man to do. No, nigga, you cannot be the same way with what no white man do. No matter if you think they let you in Beverly Hills, because you see what happened with OJ. See what his ass went. You're gonna have your seat. You're gonna have 10 seats and sit down somewhere. If you think Trump gives you a damn, stop being a damn monkey. There'll be a damn monkey to Trump. So I don't know what they think they was getting. You see how Omarosa, they gave her that little fake position. She wasn't even. She talked about she did correspondent director of something with black something whatever. You see how long that lasted? 2 years. She was given a position that's supposed to so-called help the black community, but black folks, we threw her under the bus and 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 was like, rather than embracing her and say, okay, let her go in there, don't be so harsh on Omarosa, you know, let's go and see what she could do. Maybe she could have convinced Trump to do some of the things for the black people when she was in there. But see, we didn't back her up. We didn't back her up. And then it got worse when she got let go. Then, after that, she was gonna write a book, a tell-all book about what was going on and stuff like that. And you ain't heard from her no more. Why you ain't heard from her lately? Ain't nobody. You see how they didn't hit. You see how they shut her down. Yep. You see how they shut her down. She left after she got let go from that fake position that it wasn't even a regular cabinet position. And then they had that other one, Dr. Carson, head of HUD, but yet we have a housing crisis, and he needs to see they're gonna try to get rid of all the projects, drag over all those projects for black folks and brown people and poor people, and put him in charge of HUD. HUD hasn't done nothing to help these housing crisis in all this time, and it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse. Trump stays in office and gets reelected. Shoot, you know how they have a housing shortage and have a moratorium with people they have to pay their rent and all that kind of crap. See, ain't nobody truly addressing that in the political spectrum. Nobody's addressing that. They talking about, oh, we need a stimulus so we can pay our rent. What $1,200 you gonna pay? You can't pay shit with that unless you live in public housing and you pay $200 a month. And even then, I don't feel sorry for most people in public housing because your rent is scaled down based on what you make. And you telling me that you pay $100, $200, $300, even though to live in the projects or government housing, don't be coming here complaining about you ain't got no money. Every time for the last week I've gone to the grocery store, I've seen people grocery cart filled to the T. And I could tell they getting some food stamps and getting some type of assistance. Now I know people say that's being mean, it gets at poor people, da 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 da. Let me tell you, the wealthy and the poor of the poor is just racking up that stimulus. They the main ones that's getting a lot of that help and stuff. And it's not just stimulus, it's always been like that for years. They get the biggest refund every year. They just can't wait till Christmas. Christmas, December 31st. They're already ready to line up to file a tax return so they could get that earned income credit and $6,000 for a bunch of kids and getting a bigger refund than anybody that pays a whole lot more in taxes. See, everybody's focusing on rich people, they got money, they ain't pay no taxes. Let's talk about the ones who been milking the system for years, living on the government assistance, living on food stamps, living on not even trying to improve themselves at all. And I'm talking about people who are the ages of 20 something to, let's say, 40 something. Your ass could get the hell on and work. I don't care if you got to work at McDonald's, because I know some of y'all work at McDonald's 3 months out the year, so y'all can get that little income, earned income credit. Y'all work just a couple months, so y'all could get enough money so you could file a tax return to get earned income credit and to get $2,000 per kids and whatever else, and still have some Mookie and JoJo and all these little hood rat niggas living up in your government housing until someone tells on your ass, and then you get caught, then you thrown out, then your ass get thrown out, and then you're trying to look for some subsidized housing and tear up somebody's property. I'd be a damn hell if I be putting my house up for Section 8. People say, Teresa, why'd you do Section 8? And you know, that's guaranteed money. Like, hell, I'm going to give up my house and put some bunch of Section 8 trifling ass niggas up in my house to tear it up, and then you can't get the government to fix it. It'll be a damn day in hell if I ever do it. Now I know that's being mean, that might be bougie, or that may be sounding selfish, but I'm not. And I know that's why some of y'all got banned 2 weeks last week, because I know Summer Walker and whomever else get on here that wanna that's their opinion. They know their opinion. Because you know what? Let me tell you, this stimulus and this economy going down to the hell, something's going to have to give. And let me tell you, all those little programs they had for years and years and years, see, they didn't have no tax reform this year. See, this year they usually always talk about these tax reforms, and I'm surprised nobody talked about it. Nobody mentioned it. See, this time of year, September, the last quarter of the year, they always have some kind of tax revisions and tax laws changes and what they're not going to pass, what they're not going to do, what they're not going to give. See, ain't nobody talked about it, but I'm quite sure they talked about it. I'm quite sure somewhere in the legislation there was laws that were being made that nobody's not talking about it because Rona has been the main focus. So if they have some tax law changes, and I mean, I could assure you that earned income credit, um, the additional child tax credit, all these little credits, they cut. I used to be able to cut. I used to be able to claim my mortgage interest on my tax return as part of my tax return for years. This year, well, last year, whatever, they didn't allow me to deduct a lot of the real estate taxes that I paid. Now it was some, but I need to go back and look. But it was capped. Now, luckily for me, I live in a state where it didn't go over that amount. But if I lived in New York and I lived in some states and I was paying a lot of money in taxes, it would have been capped, and I wouldn't be able to deduct all those interests. So here it is. I bought a house. I bought a house, and luckily for me, I'm able to deduct the interest that I paid. But that's nothing. And there was also some other things too. Student loan interest. It was like $2,500 you could deduct for interest. But yet I'm still paying six figures in the lifetime of the loan, but I can take that credit anymore. See, y'all have to pay attention. This little stimulus is going to inflate the economy, and then all that money that they so-called gave people, watch what's going to happen when it's time when they discuss the tax revisions and laws and stuff for next year. So when people don't come to me, take a note of this time. Hey Avon, 10:40 p.m. Sunday, October 25th. Take note of this time that when I say that next year, when you file your tax return and you say, well, goddamn, why I owe? I never owed. I used to get a bigger refund than I used to get. What happened? You remember this day and time. Remember this. You think they're going to be passing all these stimulus and giving out all this stimulus money, and you think they're not going to try to recoup it? The only way you're going to recoup it is going through taxes, raise taxes, and you're going to increase interest. Things, and if something that used to cost $3 is now going to be cost $7, and then you're going to be like, So I'm just letting y'all know that's what's going to happen. And it'll make no difference who becomes president. So people say, well, what's the point of voting if it don't make a difference? What's going to happen? What's going to happen is how hard do you want to fall? Do you want to stay with Trump and then you really be in the big shit? Or do you want to vote for Biden, Harris, and hopefully you get those rest of the other hopefully you get the rest of those people who's long-term politicians, get them out, because they not doing anything but taking advantage. And it'll make no difference if you're Republican or Democrat. So Trump is in there, it's just gonna be all hell to break loose. The economy is gonna be way worse. It ain't gonna be no more improvement and no difference. It's gonna be a whole bunch of scheming going on. So Biden, Harris get in there, they're gonna have to do a whole lot of cleaning up, and try to slow it down. Put it that way. See, they're gonna have to slow it down because right now Trump ain't did nothing. So hopefully, with Biden, Harris, and some new blood in the government, they'll be able to try to slow things down. Try to, a creative mind, try to work together to get this thing fixed. It's beyond just Rona. I just think you have to let that ride for 2 years to let that thing fizzle out, however you have to do it. If that means you got to shut the government down and limit whatever to stop, so be it. I'd rather that they do that than let this continue on and on. That's my opinion. I think that if they had people if they would stop focusing on, we need our jobs back, we need to open up the bars, we need to open up the clubs, we need to open up the whatever. If they just and stop saying we're gonna open up before Easter, we're gonna do this before April, and just let that thing maybe close it down during the whole summer, maybe wait till the fall. They should have had an action plan. Not fighting about, well, I gotta wear a mask. Why should I wear a mask? But the city should mandate the mask. Shoulda, coulda. Even if they, you don't need no government agency to tell people if they wear a mask or not wear a mask. That should even they'll focus on the wrong thing. Oh, should we wear a mask? Oh, well, I don't think we should. This is social. It'll be socialism. This is the United States. Blah 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 blah. But see, that should have never happened. This virus should have never came to the United States if Trump wasn't so damn ignorant and trying to go back to roll back what President Obama had implemented about these infectious diseases. This ain't the first time that's happened. That's how you think Ebola never came to the United States. and SCARS or SARS or whatever you want to call it. That never came to the United States. This ain't new. This coronavirus ain't new. That ain't nothing. That other last virus they had was SARS. They call it COVID 13, 11, or whatever the hell they call it. That was an outbreak that happened in China, but it got caught before it came to the United States, and they said, nope. And that was stopped because of what President Obama and what they did to stop that from happening. And that's why it never happened. It never came. What? It got wet. It was pouring down raining yesterday. It was like, Joosh. So it got all wet. So I'm going to wash it or shampoo it tomorrow. Then it'll be curly again. Yep, got caught in the rain, y'all. But see, you can't really tell because see, I didn't buy any activating curly gel. I don't have any. I have the moisturizer shampoo, but I don't have no whatchamacallit. But that's what happened to the hair. I need to find me a new gel. I need to find me some gel or something to make it curly. Not just shampoo it and that's it, but I don't have any. And trust me, I went to all these different Walmarts doing my survey jobs over the last couple of days. Man, I was so disgusted. I was like, hell no, I don't think I'm gonna stand in this damn line just to buy some dang whatchamacallit. So I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait during the daytime when it may not be so crowded, but I swear to God, all the Walmarts. And this is a self-checkout line. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, ain't no way I'm sitting stand in this line. So I'm gonna have to find me a you know what? I'm gonna go to Target. And Target had a line the other day. I went into Target. I was like, what's the world is this? And I was like, so I said, you know what? Let me go during maybe I'll go during probably tomorrow. Maybe it won't be so bad. But I was like, what time is it? 5:58. The temperature was I think it was in the 80s. I'm not sure. I was home most of the days. It wasn't that hot though. It's cool, but it's not cold either. But all right, hold on a second. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on. I'll be back. Whew. All right, I'm back. Yep. So that's pretty much it, though. I was so excited to see what's gonna happen next Tuesday. Whew. We shall see. But like I said, whatever happens, it happens. But I think the most important thing we need to be really focusing on is this digital currency and paying more attention to the recession and the government in terms of jobs and food shortages, stuff like that, because it's happening regardless. You know, it's happening because sometimes I wonder if Hillary was president 4 years and Rona didn't happen, there would have been no discussion about nothing of this matter. You know, Corona never came and put this big disaster and collapse businesses and things of that nature. I think that we wouldn't have been this. It would have been as worse off. Put it that way. It wouldn't have been so. It wouldn't have been so worse off in terms of, oh, we're gonna be in a recession. Oh, I think they would have maintained that 8 years of growth. You know, I think the momentum would have kept on, and in terms of like trade agreements and the relationship with the United States, we would have been able. They would have been able to deal with it. Put it that way. I don't know how this came out, how this happened. Maybe it will come out in the future. Maybe all this dirty-handed things about how this came about and all the dealings with Russia and all this other stuff, that's going to come out. That's going to come out one way or the other. Because why would Trump say, if I lose this election, I'm leaving the country? Yeah, you're leaving the country because you know you're going to get caught and your ass is going to jail. Put him in jail. That's why you're leaving. Because they know everything you do as a president, especially as a president, everything you do, every keyboard you touch, every phone call you make, everything is secretly recorded or documented some sort of way. The only difference is are they going to release that to the public? And they don't release that. Because remember, when Nixon got kicked out or whatever, no, let me give another good example. When Kennedy got shot and killed, and they had all those FBI records, they had all those documents and stuff. Um, they said they could not release that information for 50 years or something. It was something they could not open. They could not reveal something. It's like a certain time frame. They said they could not give out information. They had to wait 20, 30 years or something like that before anybody really heard all the things that was going on. And they do that for a reason. Do you think people will riot? Oh, do you think people will riot if Trump wins? They gonna riot if this damn when all this food shortage happened, police brutality, and someone gets killed. If someone gets killed again, and it's gonna be in a big thing. Oh yes, it gonna be hell break to loose because Trump is gonna try to treat this company as a Marshall state, and they're gonna do some stupid shit. It gonna be some. That's what's gonna happen. It ain't so much if he wins. It's so much what happens. It's not so much if he wins. If it's he won, we're gonna do a riot. It ain't gonna be like that so quick. What's gonna cause the riot is when Trump says there is no stimulus and we only going to give out X amount of money for if they, even if he decides to give a stimulus, he gives a stimulus. Well, he's not gonna be him. If they decide they're gonna pass that stimulus and the economy still continues to decline, and it still takes that decline and it continues to decline worse and worse, it's gonna be a riot because of that, not because he won. It's gonna be a riot because what he's going to do. That's what's gonna be a riot. You know, he gonna try to take it out on everybody else. He think he won. He said, okay, y'all try to get my tax returns. Your IRS, y'all try to do this to me. Let me do this to y'all. It's gonna be that tick for tack. You know, y'all try to tell me I don't pay tax. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Hmm. He talking about he want to send back and change immigration and all that stuff. I give a damn about these kids and their parents being separated. We're gonna take y'all going right on back because we tell you the economy's not gonna be able to support no more people coming in the country and giving out no more money. Y'all didn't build my wall, so I'm gonna do But see, he could be a lame duck president for 4 years too, because at that point, those other House or representatives or whatever, if they up for election 2 years from now, they so old they might not even want to go back. They might even want. They may say, okay, let me retire. They may just take their little pension in retirement, and they don't care. You know, if they've been in the government as long as they've been in there, and Trump, he only got 4 more. He can only do for 4 years, and that's it. Those people who's running, if they choose to run, they may just say, I'm about to go. Let me retire. Let me leave. It's time to move on. I don't know. It's gonna be a riot because it's gonna be a riot when these people they say, oh, 10,000 people are losing their jobs at such and such. No, we're not giving no stimulus. No, we're not gonna do this. No, we're not gonna do that. Oh, we're gonna raise taxes, and that's what's gonna happen. Then you're gonna see a riot. Ain't so much that's gonna happen because he won. It's gonna what he do, and let me tell you, if people don't, we're gonna truly see how much that platinum plan for black folks gonna be coming to play. We're gonna see where 50 Cent and all these other damn stupid ass people where they gonna be standing, what they gonna be doing. I bet you won't see them in Cleveland and in the cities helping out black folks. You just hear them anytime soon. That's why I say, you know what? You ain't gotta worry about me watching a damn TV show that you've been on. You ain't gotta be me spending no money on none of these dumb black folks talking nonsense because you don't see them nowhere around. You know? What about that? Let's drive your money and not support you and see what happens. Let's talk about that. You know? How these people in Hollywood and all these people, you making millions and millions of dollars and you complaining about paying taxes and you living in big ass houses for 20 families to live in. Who has 10 bathrooms, 8 bathrooms, 20 bathrooms, and you know you say you could take your dry ass turkey and shove it up your ass when you're talking about so and so's giving away free turkeys at the such and such. Man, shove it up your fucking butt. You know? It is sponsored by Walmart. Man, they don't even spend the damn money on the turkeys they give out. It's sponsored by a big company and you just out there just to be out there. And he's promoting his new album, such and such. Man, fuck you. Ice Cube, Ice T, whatever the hell your name is. And and all these other so-called whatever talking about we gonna support Trump and that, Charles Barkley, who I got against? Charles Barkley, who we just said, 50 Cent, Ice T, no, Ice Cube, who else is on that list? Mm-hmm. Who else on that list that was with Charles Barkley talking crap? Shaq, this dumbass. Um, they Ben gave up their black card. Ben gave it up. And like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you support Trump or whatever. Because like I said, these people see Trump used to be buddy buddy pal pal with the Clintons. Trump ain't always been this miserable old man or whatever. He was I want to say at one point he was a Democrat. I don't know because like I said, you can't tell. You can't tell if it's all for show, if it's all he's doing is for show. And like I said, Trump gonna be all right. He wins or lose. He wasn't expected to win anyway. You said how shocked he was when he won. You know how surprised he was when he won. He was like, I won. He didn't think he was gonna win. He really didn't. That was not something he did not think he was gonna win. And then he got in there. He just did what he do best. She taught. He did the whole job presidency as a reality TV show. You fired, you fired, you fired, you go, you fired. That's how he did the whole 4 years. He taught it. It was nothing but a big TV show that he did. That's all he did. He ain't did nothing. Ain't passed nothing. You've been talking about Obamacare, and you had 4 years to come up with one. And he came up with one. If you were so despicable about it, then why did you make your own? President Obama said it. He said, if you have something better than what I did, go for it. He could shit. He ain't did nothing. He ain't did not a damn thing. What all those things he said? I'm gonna bring jobs back to America. We gonna be manufacturing. I ain't see shit. Only thing he manufactured was a damn debt. That's all he did. Manufacture a debt. That's all he manufactured. Debt and unemployment and printing money that was not necessary. If I had to get back my stimulus, I would have gave it back because I'm gonna show you that little $1,200 and $1,000 or whatever. Trust me, it's gonna be paid back somehow or another. And it's gonna be paid back through taxes. It's gonna be paid back through something gonna be cut. And those people who ain't voting, talking about I ain't no reason to vote. What about your earned income credit and your child tax credit and all these other free money? What about they take that away? Then I bet your ass will then be focused about voting then. Don't complain. I don't want to hear it. I can't. I gotta get out of my $200 a month Section 8 housing because they tell us we have to move in the suburbs and I ain't got no money and I'm broke. I paid only $200 a month in rent. And I get free government housing and I get free this and that. I get free child care for kindergarten for my kids go to school. But then they go to a school that they don't even have the knowledge and they so behind. Or they get free uniforms to go to a charter school and um, I ain't gotta pay nothing for it. And I pay $200 a month in Section 8 housing. I'm 35, 20, I'm 25, 36 years old, and I got 5 baby daddies with 5 kids. Man, shut your ass down. You know, when they start cutting those programs out, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. You know, I do have some conservative Republican certain ways when it comes to certain things, like fiscal responsibility. They don't need all those programs like that. People stay on it and they stay on it. They get that dang Section 8 housing and vouchers and stay in an apartment and they be living hog to hell. Live downtown Atlanta next to $500,000 apartments. They be living up in there because they got millions of dollars in tax cuts. So they have to have a certain percentage of people with Section 8 housing. It ain't make no damn sense if someone at a certain age should be getting that. They should be focusing getting affordable housing, Section 8 housing for older people who worked all their lives, pay taxes, should be um get that type of assistance. Now I know they do get them because my aunts on my father's side, my aunts and uncles, they in their 90s, they like 98, 95. They live in government Section 8 housing. And it ain't that big either, you know. But you have to give up a whole lot of things just to get um that type of housing, you know. Hey Romeo. So when they get that type of assistance in New York, it's different in other states because every state don't have Medicare. But you get Medicare, you get some type of elderly housing or whatever. It's not Section 8. I don't. It's not Section 8. It's elderly care or whatever. You have to have made so much. You can make so much money, or you had to give up a lot of things. Put it that way. And then you live in elderly. They didn't call it elderly house care. What they call it? Assisted living homes or something. And my aunt, I had two aunts. They always lived together in the brownstone in the Bronx. They always had. It was both of them. It was my father's sisters. They always lived together. They shared the same apartment in the brownstone, and then when that burnt down, they moved into assisted living, and it was like 2 rooms. No, not yet. No, I'm not gonna shut it down. I was thinking about it because I was like, you know what? I'm not getting as many traction and subscribers and stuff like I used to, but I probably still keep it. But yeah. So when one of my aunt passed away, my other aunt Carrie, she lives there. But they was always lived together, and it was no big huge place. It had like a little kitchenette, and um, it was a 1 bedroom. So one had the room. But they had the room, or was it a room? I don't even think they had a room. It was like um like a studio. So it was kind of like a little area with like where you could eat. Then they had a little kitchenette, and then they had like the other room was like someone could sleep, bed, and stuff. So that's how they had it. It wasn't even 2 bedrooms. It wasn't even 1 bedroom. I don't remember being another bedroom in there. Nope, it sure wasn't. And that's how they had it. It was right there across the street from the Bronx Zoo, and that's where they lived. And trust me, it took a minute to get it. It wasn't something you just get it right away. So you have to go through a whole lot to move into those type of home situations and stuff. That's why if you're working a regular job and they say you have short-term disability, long-term disability, and try to get um, some type of insurance, because see, I'll be 52 in a couple more weeks. I only got less than 8 years before I turn 60. So 8 years before I turn 60, that's kind of like at that point when I turn 60, I'm not trying to work till I'm 90 years old. I figured when I get 60 and then they say, 64 or 65 or whatever, I know I had to be a certain age, like 54, before I could draw on my thrift savings plan. Like you were forced to take a certain withdrawal at a minimum age, like 54, you can start, taking a not voluntary, mandatory withdrawal. At some point, depending on what kind of, if you set yourself up for an IRA or Roth. See, I had set myself with a Roth IRA at Wayfair, and I got a 401k. So if you're doing these gig jobs, doing food delivery, Uber Eats, Grubhub, you pay in the self-employment tax. But if you're not setting up some type of Roth IRA or retirement plan, and I'm not talking about starting it when you're 50. I'm talking about you need to start when you're like 25. When you first started working, you start setting aside a little bit of money. See, I've been setting aside money with my thrift savings plan when I worked at the IRS and the government. I've always had other thrift plans from other jobs in the past, and sometimes I took the money out. I said, "Oh, it's only $5,000. Let me take it out." But you have to start planning when you're younger. Now, for all those people who's young, they 20 something, 25, 30. And I know a lot of y'all, I see a lot of people YouTube videos, y'all ain't got a whole bunch of nothing really. Some of y'all got these little, well, you start a business, It's not always easy about just starting a business, Look at the people who started businesses this year, who had started businesses years ago or in the last few years, and see what happened to them. People who had barbershops and nail salons and all these businesses, and then what happened this year? People had businesses totally wiped out, lost their business, striving business, lost their business because of the riots, lost their business because someone burnt it down to the ground, or lost it because of the Rona. People had years. But when the economy took a tank and the Rona happened, boom, people lost it all. California court. You mean appeals? You talk about California appeals court said that Uber and our employees, it don't make no difference whether you're an employee. What good is it if you ain't making no money? You're an employee, okay, and what? They ain't giving you no free health insurance. They ain't giving you no 401k. They ain't giving you nothing. All they're going to do is solicit people in California for these third-party companies to sign up for stuff, and people's not even going to be able to afford it. They ain't giving away nothing. That don't mean a thing. All they did when they passed that law, and I'm gonna read it because I haven't heard nobody talk about it, about what happened. I thought they said it's gonna put it on the referendum this year and let the voters decide in California if they want to be employees or not. I thought they put that on the ballot. I heard something about it a couple months ago, and after that, I ain't heard much about it no more. Oh, you voted no to Prop 22? Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of fighting on something? People like, we want to be employees, we want to get this, we want to get that. All they gonna do, you better start your own investment plan and your own retirement plan and your own exit plan of what you want to do. Uber and Lyft and all those companies, oh, we're gonna leave California. Man, y'all gonna leave California anyway, because even if they don't make the decision, I did see that. Dorian sent me that last week. I knew they've been stealing tips. I ain't heard nothing back from my class action suit about my little $500 something they said I was supposed to get back. They ain't nothing but a bunch of crooks and thieves. You will never see me buy groceries and shopping with them using Instacart or Ship for anything. The way how the prices of food and groceries are, I cannot afford to be buying and using that service. I even hardly use Amazon Prime for my free grocery delivery. And they're about to be I'm about to call Amazon tomorrow and tell them I want my money back just for the principle of the fact I'm gonna support a company like you've been in idle and non-work status for 2 minutes, so we firing you. Give me my money back. You know? I may even be bothered, may even be funny fooling with them. Oh, 126. So, and that's another thing. If Hillary ran, that was one of her platforms. Was about the BS that was going on with these gig jobs and companies and how they was misclassifying people doing Uber and Lyft and all these other, Grubhub and all the rest of them. That was her main platform, changing ways of how they were being treated and how, the backhanded stuff they were doing. See, let me tell you, all those companies doing that mess, Uber and Lyft, Uber Eats. See, the focus was not done in 4 years. They thought they was gonna get rid of. They thought they was gonna get away with things, but let me tell you, that's gonna be changed too. When they pull the rug and say, well, they haven't been paying anything, no corporate tax, no payroll, no nothing. They gonna get in trouble too. All the stuff coming to light. You see how Uber and Lyft, we're gonna be on the stock exchange, and there's some of y'all foolish YouTubers. So I'm gonna buy me Uber stock. I'm gonna make me some money. Man, y'all a bunch of dumbasses. You know, y'all bought Uber stock, overrated, overpriced, overinflated. Last time, they were, I'm gonna make some money with doing Uber. I'm gonna make me some stock. Psst. I'm gonna do the Robinhood app, and Robinhood app, they in trouble. They were doing some underhanded shit. See, y'all need to stop following up with other people and talking nonsense. No background and nothing. They ain't got no background in business. They got no background in finance. Nothing. They just want to run with it. I think I'm gonna make me some money with Uber stock. Man, let me wipe my ass with that Uber stock. Cause that's what it is. It's full of shit. You know? And look what happened. Look what happened. Uber had an office in Atlanta where they hired all these people. If you had a problem, you go to the office and they was paying them like, I want to say it was only paying what, $12 an hour or some silly amount. But I guess that's pretty good for doing nothing. Now they ain't got no corporate office. They ain't got no office in Atlanta, that you could go to. All they did was stand behind a queue. You deactivate it. We can't let you, all those offices were closed down, and all the people in corporate with Uber and Lyft, they fired, they had to fire them. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8,000 people got fired. You know, man, please. The only reason why Uber is still around is because of Corona with the food deliveries as well as Instacart because people didn't want to go out. No, I'm not gonna do my groceries. I'm gonna order Instacart. And then that was hot for a minute. And then it was like, oh, we need to hire 10,000, 20,000 people for Instacart. I was even hired at Instacart at the one downtown Atlanta to be a phone support. And look what happened. Yeah, they've been closed. That shut that down. And the ones all across. They fired all the people who was employees at Uber. They terminated them months ago. It was like 12,000 layoff, 15,000 layoffs or something like that. That was part of the layoffs. They was just sitting in the damn office right up there on Claremont Road, chilling, doing nothing. People go up there, I got a problem with my app. I can't, they don't have no office no more. Sure don't. And like I said, the only reason why Uber was able to withstand itself was because of Uber Eats. And you know Uber and Lyft, they had those little scooters. Man, I'm surprised ain't nobody mentioned this. A few months ago, all those bicycles and stuff, people said get on the bike, get on the scooter. That was Uber and Lyft, and it was another company. They had to scoop up all those bikes, all those scooters, and destroy them. They don't have the business no more to do that. They used to have that business, but now they don't. Now I haven't been downtown Atlanta seeing those people walk around in those scooters as much anymore. But there was that was a big thing too. That was a big thing too. So the only thing that kept Uber alive was food delivery. I mean, some people still take Lyft, but I haven't really seen people do Lyft and stuff like that. And you can see that just the way how people on YouTube are. You don't see many people on YouTube talking about Uber and Uber Eats and Grubhub. I mean, some people make the news about it, but you'll swear by some people. I made $200. They do text me, showing me a screenshot. Okay, that's good for being out there for 12 hours. Hey, if you hustle, you hustle. That's if you make your money. That's how you make your money. All bike shops out of stock. Yeah, because ain't nobody can afford no car, so most people gonna be buying a bike, riding a bicycle. I would have bought me an electric bicycle if I wasn't so scared of driving around Atlanta. People around here try to run you over in Atlanta. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't get no bicycle. But I would get one if I lived in the city and I was like a neighborhood. And now I wouldn't do no far distance with no bicycle. It'd probably be something local, but yeah, people in Atlanta drive too crazy for me to be on no bike. I'll probably do it to go to Stone Mountain Park. I'll probably get a bike and ride around Stone Mountain 5 miles around the mountain and do it. But mm-mm. I thought that was stupid that they. No, because it was real popular. It was real popular. It was like every time you turn around, it was people on that damn scooter and stuff. And then if you was happen to get the gig jobs to pick up the bikes and take them home and you charge them, it was some money to be made. They told me I lived too far. They told me I had to. I said if I lived inside the city of Atlanta, I wouldn't be doing this gig job if I could afford to live downtown. I applied for to be a I don't even know what they call that position. You put this group up all the scooters, you take them home, you charge them, and then you put them back up early in the morning at a certain thing. You got paid. Some people did pretty good when I saw that. It was some people used to rent a whole cargo van thing, and they had like 30, 40 bikes, and they would take somehow or another. They'll take them home, charge them up, and they got paid. So they didn't choose me because I didn't live within the city limits. So I said whatever. But that really destroyed part of the Uber and Lyft business was those scooters though. But I remember I read it that they was destroying those bicycles. I was like, dang, they could at least sold the bikes to people who wanted to buy it. You know, they had to destroy all those bicycles like that. I would have bought me one. They should have had a sale. They should have just deactivated the little thing and sold it, not destroy it. I read that a few months ago. Months ago, I read that they was doing that, and I was like, dang. I wished I knew that before. They should have sold them, but I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did sell it, and somebody bought them, and they just have to refurbish it to a regular bike. But all right, what time is it? I've been here for 1 hour and 35 minutes. It's 11:25. All right, y'all. If you're new, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for the video. So let me go. I'm ready to go to bed. Oh, Palm Springs hit all of them. Really? Because somebody probably would steal it. That's why. I know one thing. If I saw one on the street, I would have yacked that. No, I wouldn't have done that because that'd be my luck. It'd be a camera on me, and then I would have been put to jail for stealing a stupid bicycle. But if they was getting rid of those bikes, they should at least sold it to the public, let people buy it or something. So I don't know what they. I don't know. But yep, those people were on those scooters and the bikes. And those electric bike. I would have loved to have one. But anywho's, I will talk to y'all later. Been on here. I don't know what happened to the rest of y'all. All right, Avon. I guess I'll be talking to you real soon. Creative Mind, Colis, Romeo, Ruthie. Who else on here? Harden. Your Pleasure. I'm missing somebody. Who I'm missing? Dorian, probably. Lynn, maybe. You think? How come, Coles, you be asking me after when I say I'm about to go? I'm not bringing another discussion. You think Trump will win? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. If he, I don't know. No, that's okay. I need to go to bed anyway. You know, I don't got so many minutes on my live stream yard, and I want to save them. So next week, Tuesday, we could do a live political screening. You know, we could watch, share screen, so we could kind of watch it together and see what happens. But we'll see what happens next Tuesday, y'all. That's the big thing. If you didn't vote, you got the last week to vote early. I'm trying to buy food and stock up on food. Well, I'm gonna do me a new thing. I'm gonna start trying to be real diligent in regards to my budget. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I think that's what all of us should be doing. So all right. I'm supposed to be studying for my lessons and I haven't even done it today. So let me get off here so I can at least look at let me go ahead and start my lessons. You know, I tell you I got that scholarship with Udacity. So I haven't done my lesson today. So I'm supposed to be studying at least 2 hours, but I doubt I'll be studying tonight. 2 hours tonight. So y'all have a good night. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Maybe I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.